Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Discover Engineering in the Classroom and Beyond webinar. We are so excited to see so many of you. I see some familiar names already coming in. We are so excited to see you. Please drop into the chat where you're from. We would love to know as we get started here. And it looks like we've got a good group already coming in, so we're super excited. This will be recorded. And this and the slides will be shared out to everyone. So if you have to step away, that's okay. I make sure that I will get this to you. Spring, Texas, Fairmont, West Virginia, Albany, New York, Abuja, Nigeria. My parents taught there for 2 years. Lumberton, North Carolina, Silver Spring, Maryland, and so many more coming in. So thanks everybody for being here. Worldwide students, Tom, that is excellent. Love it. San Diego. Oh, I miss San Diego. That's where I'm from originally. Chicago, couple from Chicago. We have a big contingent out there that celebrates Engineers Week and other things. Sugar Hill, Georgia. Beautiful. It feels like Georgia outside today because it's 100% humidity where I am. So, welcome everyone to this fantastic. Well, hello, Miss Langen students getting ready to leave. Have a good day. Do your homework. Um, Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. My name is Sarah. You might recognize me from some other webinars that we do. I normally don't put BEd on this slide, but like you guys are my people. So I just felt like, relatable moment. We've all had that like pro D where the person just clearly had not been in a classroom and it was a whole thing. And I just want to make clear middle school and high school teacher until very recently. Uh, I'm serious when I say that these are resources that I did use in my classroom, so I know that they're useful for you too. But currently, I'm the marketing manager here at Discover E and resident MC, I guess, for all of our things. And happy Teacher Appreciation Week for all of the teachers in the audience. We are, oh, let's see, I'm on a Mac. Sometimes it does sometimes it'll shoot hearts out like in the middle of our staff meetings, balloons and lasers, but I guess not for Zoom. But anyway, we love teachers. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week, everybody. We hope that you are being spoiled by your administrators and your students and your people at home as well. We would like to know a little bit more about who you all are. You've heard who I am. I'm a former teacher and the marketing manager, but we're curious. We have a poll for you. The other poll, we're gonna swap this one for a different poll because I do have these questions for you later. But my poll that I have first is, I would like to know, like, in what way do you support students? Are you a public school teacher, a private school teacher? There it is. Do you work at the district or administrator level? Do you work with an after school program? Are you a homeschool person, a university, college, museum, library, other? And then I'd also like to know what ages of students do you support because we have a lot to go over today. And I want to make sure that we're tailoring things to the group of you who showed up. So it is lovely to start to see so lots of public and private K-12 teachers, some after school, university, college, homeschool, museum, library, and other. If you said other, would you please tell us in the chat? Because I'm always curious in like what other ways do people support students? So please drop that into the chat. And then it looks like middle school is our largest group of students that are supported out of all of us today, which is so fantastic and not totally surprising, right? Because Future City is such an amazing program and has been working in middle school for 31-ish years. I don't know, the program manager is going to fact check me on that in a second. But it's nice to see that there is that really good spread. Nonprofit education enrichment, collegiate students, uh, a water utility. Christine, that sounds fantastic. Community educator, 4-H. Hey, shout out to our 4-H and scouts and all of those other groups and informal science educator. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. We'll leave it up for another second just to make sure everybody gets the chance to fill that out for us. And here at Discovery, if you maybe have only heard of us through one of our programs like Engineers Week or Future City or Chats with Changemakers, I want to just tell you a little bit about who Discovery is. We believe that a STEM experience with an engineer technician and an educator and a student can transform the world. We like actually do believe that. And part of our, or not the part of, entirely our mission is that we are a coalition providing every student, we'd love to see every student have a STEM experience and the resources, programs, and connections to improve the understanding of what engineering is, and hopefully convince those kids to go into engineering because engineering is open to everyone. And we do that in a variety of ways. First off, we have 30 plus years of experience and experimentation. Our methods are based on actual research, things like messages matter most recently, but also despite the odds. You can find all of that on the research page on our website. And we do this through increasing interest in engineering, deepening knowledge of engineering for students, but also for teachers. We have a whole teach section of our website that gives you tips on how to teach engineering and STEM and the engineering design process and so many other things. We strengthen skills through hands-on activities and other programs that we're going to talk about today. And we create opportunities in a lot of different ways, but also we offer grants in like October of every year. We offer Engineers Week and Girl Day grants. So definitely come back and check us out, hopefully before that. But if you want a grant to do some STEM Engineers Week or Girl Day activities for the students that you're reaching out to, apply for those grants. And I've said this before, but engineering is open to everyone. We really believe that here. And the engineering design process can bring out the engineer in each of us. Mentors and role models are crucial. And I know you guys are our educator group. Some of you might come from a STEM background, but mentors and role models are absolutely crucial to attract and retain people in engineering. We know that as educators too, right? Our mentors, they keep us going. None of us is as strong as all of us, and it's the simple truth in all things. So that is who we are and why we're doing this. Oh, my arrows aren't working right now. We have done all of this work, all of these activities and programs. Our estimated reach right now is about 5.5 million students and parents, and over 300,000 volunteers and educators since we've been around. So, we're on to something, I think, and I hope that you'll agree if you're hearing some new things today, which hopefully you will, and hopefully they're going to make things easier for you. Just because I think it might be interesting to you all, 67% of the teachers who use Discover Engineering activities work in Title I schools. 43% of teachers have over 75% of their students on free or reduced lunch. 49% of the students who get access to Discovery, or not get access, but have access, the teachers report this information to us. 49% are white, 22% Hispanic, 21% African American, 15% Asian American, and 2% are American Indian or Native Hawaiian. And unlike in engineering bachelor's degrees, of which only 16% as of 2022 was the latest numbers that I've seen, 16% went to women in engineering, as opposed to the rest of that going to men, I guess, getting bachelor's degrees in engineering. Across Engineers Week and Girl Day, we see it's 51% girls and 45% boys, which is absolutely incredible. And what we'd love to see in engineering is something that reflects the population. So we are so excited to share with you the valuable resources and programs that we are doing here at Discovery that we have for you. And one of the programs that I don't know that I want to say like flagship, but it definitely is one of our biggest programs, is Future City. And hopefully that you've all heard about it, but I have two very special guests who are here to talk about Future City. So Ashley is the middle school Future City program manager. And some of you definitely know about Future City Middle School, but you might be surprised to hear that actually we've launched a Future City High School also. And Maddie is here to talk with you a little bit more about that. So welcome. Thanks, program managers, for being here. I'm so excited to, I mean, I know what this is, but I'm so excited for you guys to get to share this with this amazing audience that's here. So tell us about Future City.
Well, thank you, Sarah, for the introduction, and thank you, everyone, for having us. I'm excited to share a little bit more about the Future City program alongside Maddie. We are so thankful for wonderful educators like all of you who give so much back to your students. We want to provide as many resources as possible to help you do what you love to do. So Sarah mentioned earlier that fact check. So it is our 34th year that Future City has been around. So Future City is a hands-on student-led program that really encourages the students to become the engineers by answering one simple question: how can we make the world a better place? To answer this question, middle school and high school students work 4 to 5 months throughout the year, guided by educators, coaches, and mentors to create cities that exist 100 years in the future based on an annual sustainability challenge. That challenge changes every year. So on the next slide, Maddie's going to tell you a little bit about this year's challenge.
Thanks, Ashley. So we're so excited to announce this year's theme is Farm to Table. So the challenge statement is design a city that eliminates food waste from farm to table and keeps your citizens healthy and safe. So we're so excited for the students and the teams and the educators to dig into this year's theme. So next we're going to go into more about program resources and the support that's going to be available. So the resources and the support available is here to only set up your team up for success. So for both middle school, Future City Middle School and Future City High School, there is a program handbook, which is a really robust guide on where to start with your Future City journey. It holds all the official rules and rubrics and for the deliverables, and then it dives into what the engineering design process is and how to best use project management to keep your team on track. The handbook also provides case studies and questions to consider for when your team is doing the research, essay outline suggestions for your essay, and then tips for building the model and preparing the presentation. The handbook and all theme-related documentation will be available August 1 to all registered teams. Another amazing resource we're excited about that we do every year is the theme webinar, which this year is in September, where we bring in industry leaders to discuss more about the theme. And then Ashley will go more into the middle school resources.
Yeah, so we do have a lot of resources for educators to enhance their experiences with the program and to help set up your students for success. So for middle school, the resources include monthly educator calls where you can come in a very casual setting and ask any questions and hear from other educators that might have questions that you just want to listen into. We're also going to have a new educator info session where you'll dive into the program a little more extensively than we are now. And then we have mentor support call where if you have a mentor for your team, they can come and learn from experienced mentors to help develop skills to help guide their team throughout the competition. So Maddie, you can go ahead and go through the high school resources.
Yeah, likewise, we also have monthly coaches calls, and then there's going to be many Revit tutorials, resources, guides available. And then a great aspect of the high school program is the career exploration that the students will do as they work through their project. All teams will have access to a mentor panel, which is made up of a few STEM professionals who will provide technical guidance and their own engineering career sites throughout the season. So let's get more into the deliverables and the competition a little bit more.
And actually, I told them I was not going to interrupt them unless a question came in from the audience that
Okay.
I felt like was relevant to the time. This question might be over the next couple slides. You guys might want to say, it says, I signed up to be a volunteer, but I would like to help my kiddos participate. Can students only participate through schools, through actual schools is the question. So that might help you as you go through the next couple of slides down, unless you want to answer right now.
I can answer that right now for middle school specifically. And it's something that I don't think we had specifically highlighted on a slide. So that's a great question. So it doesn't have to be a specific school that is registered. You can be any regional or nationally accredited organization. You can be an after-school group. You can be with the YMCA, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, a 4-H group. So it's not specific to just a school.
And that's the same for high school as well,
Mhm.
but all students must be a part of that same organization. Great question.
So for middle school, the competition deliverables, here you'll see there are 4. So one of the deliverables is a city essay. So throughout the 4 to 5 months that your team is working on the competition, they will craft a 1,500 word essay, a city model that is used out of 100% recycled materials. So there is a budget within the city model that I'll go over here in a second. But this is a great way to use up all those recycled materials, old toys, old batteries that you have laying around your classroom. And then there is a presentation Q&A component of it if you do compete. And there is a 7-minute presentation that you give to a panel of STEM professional judges. And then that's followed up by an 8-minute Q&A with that panel of judges. And then the 4th one that you see here are project plans. So there are 4 different components to the project plans, but as a high level, it's just you set goals, you create a schedule, you have check-ins throughout the competition, and then reflection. So at the bottom there, you'll see our regional competitions are going to be January 3rd through the 24th, and it's dependent on the region that you are registered in. And then the finals competition, if your team does advance, will be February 14th to the 18th in 2026 in Washington, D.C. So Maddie, I'll hand it over to you for high school.
Thanks. Yeah, so for high school, there's a lot of similarities to the middle school program, but it does come with a twist. So teams will research and write a 2,000-word essay, and they must incorporate an interview with a STEM professional. And then teams will build a digital model rather than a physical model using Revit, which is a free Autodesk software. So we're really excited to be using that. The essay and the model will then be scored virtually within the qualification round in January. And then the top 20 teams will be invited to the finals round in Washington, D.C. in February, the same event that Ashley was just mentioning. So there, the teams will also present their solutions to a panel of STEM professional judges in the same format, a 7-minute presentation with an 8-minute Q&A. And then these top teams are competing for cash prizes and hefty scholarships, so we're really excited about that. So Ashley, why don't we move into more about what a team looks like?
All right, so Future City Middle School. So now that you know a little bit more about the program, let's talk about how to get involved and start thinking about it. So I know that summer is just around the corner and we're all looking forward to a nice long break. But we want to leave you with some resources and planning for whenever you're ready to return. So for middle school, there are 2 tracks that you can choose to participate. There is the competition track and the resources only track. So starting with the competition track, it is $25 per organization, which means that even if you have 10 teams registered in your same organization, it is still only $25 to register. This track includes access to all of the resources, the rubrics, support calls, and you can participate throughout the whole competition and submit your deliverables and compete in the regional competition for awards and prizes, with the chance to advance to the finals competition in February. Let's see. Now, if you aren't sure if you want to commit to the competition track, if you're not ready for this, but you want to use it in your classroom and have access to all of the same materials, but you're not quite ready to compete, there is the resource only track. That is where you have access to the handbook, the rubrics, all of the same materials, but you don't have to submit any deliverables or compete regionally or in the finals competition. It's a great way to get introduced to the program and implement it into your classroom without the full commitment of the competition. So I did want to mention down at the bottom, you'll see that there's a maximum $100 for a budget. So that means that on your physical model, you have $100 to build that model using recycled materials or paint. So it really secures an even playing field and just really encourages students to use those recycled materials, think creatively, and create a really awesome future city. So I'll hand it back over to Maddie to talk a little bit about the Future City High School.
Thanks. So for high school, teams are comprised of 3 to 5 students. If we can move the slide one more. Thank you, Sarah. So teams are comprised of 3 to 5 students and 1 adult coach who could be an educator, so really anyone here, but it could also be a parent of a student team member or really any adult student enthusiast. There are 2 levels of participation, competition access and program access. Both levels give the team access to all the resources that we mentioned earlier. The main difference is competition access teams have that ability to submit their deliverables for scores and feedback from STEM professional judges and are eligible to advance to that finals round. Program access teams can still use the guides and the rubrics to work through the deliverables and within your curriculum goals. And then we can see the price points here. So it would be $375 per team for competition access and $300 for program access. And a team in the program access level can upgrade for $150 at any point throughout the season to that competition access. And I really do highly encourage teams in program access as you're working through the deliverables and you feel like 1 or 2, maybe just your essay is sort of ready or ready for evaluation. I do highly encourage you to upgrade to that competition access and submit that deliverable. The feedback from the STEM professional judges is going to be so valuable to your students so that they can learn what worked for them and what maybe they need to improve on for next year. Okay, so we've covered a lot of information at this point. So why don't we talk more about why people should join Future City and what students would learn from Future City as well.
So on this slide here, you can see a few stats from the previous years for Future City, as well as some quotes. So I'll let you read those quotes, but a few of those stats include 89% of our educators. We've heard that say Future City helps their students learn about the engineering design process. 83% of educators say that Future City helps strengthen their students' teamwork skills. And then 93% of educators led that their students learn about STEM concepts that they're not normally exposed to. So there are a lot of great reasons and value that you can take out from this competition. But now, Maddie, does that mean that you have to be a STEM educator or math teacher or science teacher to be involved?
That's a great question, Ashley. Thank you for asking that. So Future City is such a cross-curricular program, so a teacher in any subject can lead a team. We've seen English teachers because of the technical writing aspect, history and civics teachers because of the researching and looking to the past in order to look toward the future, and that cross-pollination between the government and urban planning. Students that participate in Future City also gain skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, public speaking, collaboration, and stay with me, everybody, the engineering design process and project management, all skills that go hand in hand with any subject. So through Future City, students are really building their confidence in their STEM ability, so they can also see themselves as an engineer and know that they have that ability to pursue being an engineer. So let's go through more of just how people can sign up and learn more.
All right, so I know we have covered quite a lot, but on this slide here, if you have to reach out for middle school, if you're a middle school educator and want to learn more, my email is there. Feel free to email me. There's also a QR code. If you are just so excited about it at this moment, you want to register right now, you can do that. And then you can also go to futurecity.org to learn more. If you're still not fully on board and you want to learn just a little bit more, we're going to have a more in-depth info session August 14th that you can join and just listen and hear a little bit more. And then right there in the blue cloud, you'll see a refer a colleague. We have a campaign going right now that if you do register for Future City as a middle school educator and you want to refer a colleague and get them to join the competition as well, if they put your name in as a referred colleague, then you have a chance to win a $75 Amazon gift card. And on the next slide, it'll highlight middle school or high school, sorry, for Maddie.
Thanks, Ashley. No, that's exciting. That's great. So likewise, we also have a few information sessions coming up in the coming months. So the first one is next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I would love to have you all there where I'm going to go more into the high school program, more in depth. But if you are, likewise, what Ashley said, if you're ready to jump the gun and you're ready to register, that left QR code is where you will register as a coach. It's where students will register. We really want high school to be a very student-led program, so we want students to have accounts and they can submit deliverables and have access to all the materials as well, which is really amazing. You can see my contact information there as well and the high school website. So thank you all for listening to us, and I think maybe we have some time for a couple questions here.
Yeah, questions have been coming in through the chat, and Susan, our director of programs, has been in there answering them. One question, Ashley, that I think might be, or I guess Ashley or Maddie, for international participants, can people who aren't based in the US participate?
Maddie, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. I think it's going to be close to the same answer. But yes, they can. International teams can come in for our pilot year. So Future City High School is very new. We had a pilot year 2 years ago, and we just launched last year, which is really amazing and awesome. So our pilot year, we saw some Nigerian teams come in, and this past year we had some teams from China come in. So we're really trying to increase our global reach. But yeah, teams from all across the globe are more than welcome to participate, and they have access to everything is the same for them. They would have accounts. They'd be able to go to the calls. I'm also more available for international coaches on off hours if needed for more of a one-on-one call in case you miss a call here or there. Ashley, do you have anything to add there on your side?
Yeah, for middle school, same. It is a global program. So we do have teams that compete from China, Nigeria. We are introducing a Bangladesh region. But for middle school, we are regionally run. So there is, for anywhere, if you are outside of an established international region, for instance, China, you can still join as like resource only and get full access to all of the resources, the handbook, but you just wouldn't be able to compete regionally since it's not an established region. But if you have any questions on that or need to know if you have a competition in your region, please email me and I'm like more than happy to find that for you and help clarify.
And if you don't have a region in your area, where contact Ashley about that, because I'm just going to say it. They're not saying it. I'm saying it. We could have more regions. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Okay. We're going to move on. One question that came through in chat, Maddie, was, did you say AutoCAD?
Oh yes. So Autodesk is the parent company, and it holds all of these different programs. AutoCAD is one of those softwares, but we're using Revit. So Revit is the software that we're going to be using. That is one of the softwares of Autodesk, which is the holder of all of these programs. So we're using Revit for high school.
Awesome. And I think that was everything that I saw, but I can have Ashley and Maddie come back at the end if there's more questions. You can put them here in chat, or you can put them into the Q&A box, and then we'll keep them there. So thank you both for coming and sharing about Future City, and I might call you back at the end, so don't leave yet.
Okay, thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, everyone. So we talked a little bit about Future City, but we have a whole other program and a whole bunch of other resources. And I wanted to share with you some of my favorite resources that I was definitely using in my classroom at both middle school and high school levels. And for that, I have our program manager for the list is long, Ellen. E-Week, Girl Day, activities, careers, chats with changemakers. You do a lot. And also, if you have been on another webinar, Ellen or a chats, Ellen runs the back and organizes everything. So you might not see her very often, but you're always seeing her amazing work. So Ellen, thank you for being here with us. Tell me a little bit about these activities that we have that are free for anybody to download and use.
Yeah, sure. And thanks so much. I'm so excited to be here. So yeah, there's a couple of resources and programs I want to share with you all today. So the first, as Sarah mentioned, is our hands-on activities. We have tons and tons, more than 170, and the list is growing, of engineering activities on Discovery's website. So that's at discovery.org. And what's great is there's just so much variety there to choose from. And so these hands-on activities, I mean, one thing that they have in common is that they are, I mean, the activities themselves for you to download are free. The materials are low cost or recycled materials, everyday materials for the most part. And so, really easy to find things that you can use in your classrooms or other learning spaces. And what's also great is that you can filter the activities for what you're really looking for in terms of time. Some activities might be a quick hit, under 30 minutes, and some might be something you can delve more deeply into for 1 to 2 hours. So we really have a nice range there. Grade level as well. You can search that way, K through 12. Also, in terms of subjects that they cover, in terms of science topics, and that's another way you can search. And discipline, across different engineering disciplines, from civil to mechanical to environmental. So these are just all great ways that you can check out what's there. And while all of our activities have leader notes, for you as a leader leading the activity with kids, many of them, and the list is growing, also have student instruction. So it's just nice. I mean, it's the same activity, but it's written so in a way that they can follow along, which can be really helpful for kids, to follow written instructions, or for a kid to do at home and just follow the instructions to do on their own at home with a parent or on their own. And some of our activities have videos, what we call our challenge videos. So I think we're going to look at that more deeply. But first, another thing, if we can go to the next slide, Sarah, just to say that's super important about all these activities is that they all follow the engineering design process. I know Ashley and Maddie mentioned it as such an important part of the Future City curriculum, but it's an important part of everything we do here. The process that engineers use to solve problems is what we want to make sure that kids are doing in these open-ended activities where there isn't just one solution to the problem, and they can really explore and brainstorm ideas and design and build, and it really encourages teamwork and all those things, and so our activities, that's a real feature of all of them. So next slide, please. So the videos that I mentioned, we have many of our videos have many of our challenges have a video component showing sometimes a STEM professional or engineer doing, introducing the activity that you would find on our website, and really encouraging kids to try it and to think about, what they might, different ways to tackle it, and give some real world examples of how this activity, would occur in the real world. But what's nice is we have 7 challenge videos that we've produced just in the last year that feature here 2 students, Miranda and Star, who are high school and college students, and we get to watch them to take on a hands-on activity. And it's a really fun way to engage kids and get them excited about doing the activity. And then they can, watch the video, see how these 2 hosts tackle it, but then go and do it on their own. And as I said, with so many open-ended activities, there isn't just one solution. So it's not like if you see them solve it, you're kind of watching, one way to do it, because there's so many ways to do it. So really the best way, I think, to see what the videos are like would be to watch one. So we're going to take a peek at one today. They're generally about 5 to 6 minutes, so we won't show the whole thing now, but we'll show just the first couple of minutes just to give you a taste of one of these challenge videos, and how you might use it in your classroom or learning space.
Hey everyone! Welcome to today's exciting challenge for you to discover engineering. I'm so excited for this activity. We're about to build our very own action contraptions, also known as Rube Goldberg machines.
Rube Goldberg was an engineer and cartoonist who got famous for his crazy inventions. His machines were designed to perform simple tasks, but they were made up of wacky chain reactions.
A chain reaction starts when you transfer energy from one object to another, and it continues on with each reaction causing the next reaction, and so on, until you reach your end result.
Building chain reactions is a great way to explore the fundamentals of force, motion, and energy. So for this activity, our goal, or success criteria, is to build a Rube Goldberg machine that successfully performs a simple task. In our case, its task will be to ring a bell.
Your machine must span a total distance of at least 6 feet, and it must contain at least 4 chain reactions.
What materials you use is totally up to you. Look around and think about what basic, everyday items might be able to help set up or cause a chain reaction.
Leave a comment down below with what materials you decide to use. While you're there, hit that like button and subscribe for more engineering challenges. Now let's get to brainstorming. All right, so we have endless possibilities here for our Rube Goldberg machine. I'm thinking we can use these marbles and they can roll down something, like a ramp or something.
We can use these, if we cut them in half, they'll become ramps. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Let's get to building! Before we start, how about let's plan out what we're thinking? Okay, how about we test just this first?
Remember to use the engineering design process while building your contraption. Chain reactions are tricky, and they won't always work perfectly on your first try.
So use your imagination, creativity, and engineering skills to experiment, test new ideas, and improve your design.
Yes!
Another thing we'd roll down ramps would be this.
Thank you, Sarah. So we'll stop it there just for time, but I encourage you to go and check out the rest of the video. It's another few minutes, and it's on our website, discovery.org, in the engineering activities section. Action contraption is that activity, and you can watch the video right there on our website, also on our YouTube page. And it's really fun to see what they come up with, because you saw just one component of the 4 chain reactions that they do, and it's really cool when they take it the whole way. And as you can see, there would be endless possibilities for kids who want to do this activity on their own. So thank you, Sarah, for showing that. So switching gears, I just want to talk about a couple of other important resources we have. And these are really more in the career resources section of our website. So we have a program that Sarah referenced, Chats with Changemakers. And these are 30-minute chats that are hosted by a student who interviews engineers and technicians that are doing really, really cool things. And it's really making a difference in the world. And we have at this point more than 45 on-demand episodes. So if you go to our website and go to programs in the Chats with Changemakers section, you will see just tons and tons of different role models that you can bring into your classroom without having to actually bring a live person into your classroom. And you can watch them on demand, and we'll be producing new ones in the fall as well. And one thing I want to highlight before I reference a few more that we have is that we did a survey, and we heard that nearly 94% of our respondents agreed that their students are more interested in engineering careers after watching the show, which is what we're really trying to do, get kids excited about careers. And often we just hear again and again that students are, I didn't even know that was a job. I didn't even know that that was something that that I could do, and it's really eye-opening for students. So.
And I think something that I really appreciated as a teacher from that lens is we're talking to engineers and technicians who don't necessarily have a 4 or 5 year degree. We do have technicians who have a 2-year degree or have different paths into how they got there. I remember last year we talked with a drone, or our student host talked with a drone operator who had come from a very unique path. And there was also a 3D printer who kind of came in just like at a manufacturing entry level and has worked his way up to a technical degree and is now working on a more advanced technical degree through the program. So I think that that's really great for students to see how many paths there are and how inclusive engineering is. And I just wanted to say that before I kept you going, Ellen.
Thank you, Sarah. And so, we see James here, who with a 2-year degree went on to operate robotics and really sophisticated systems, which is really cool. And then, please go to the next slide, because just to illustrate Sarah's point, this is just a snapshot of our website. And as I said, there's, more than 45 of them here. And so you can just see the range of different careers and people that we feature on the show at different points in their careers as well. So, we have Dr. Terry Anderson, a PhD, a systems engineer. We also had an agricultural engineer, who also lives on her own farm. So that was really interesting to kids. And we always make sure that no matter, who the person is in their job, that we also, shed a little light on their personal, life too, because it's really just trying to show the whole person and, just the amazing, amazing things that these engineers and technicians are doing. So you can find, Yes, please, Sarah.
I was going to say, and shout out to Miranda and Star, because we
Yeah.
interviewed I mean, I'm not a student anymore, lifelong student, I guess, but I got to interview them for the February episode this year. And of course, you all just saw them in the video challenges. And Miranda was also the very first winner of the very first Future City High School team. She was on a team of 4 and won a $10,000 personal scholarship. Shout out to Future City High School. So yeah, it was really fun to get to be a part of the chat's legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so just a couple more career resources to point out to you. Also on the Discovery website, we have the engineering career section of our website. And so here's a snapshot here where you can see, so many different disciplines in engineering represented. And again, right there, sometimes kids are amazed to see, just all the different, I mean, this isn't even all of them, right? But it's amazing what we have covered here. And then if you click on one of them, and Sarah, if you'll go to the next slide, like biomedical engineering, for example, you'll go to a page where you just get a lot more information about that particular discipline in engineering. So it gives a career overview of that discipline, and then we do link to our change makers, of course. So in this case, we have Camila, who's an amazing engineer who works at Merck, and she is a part of producing medicines, and so that's just a whole field that is super interesting to kids. We also give salary information. And then, like Sarah spoke to earlier, we make sure that we show different career paths and options. So, jobs that, you might get with a 4-year degree versus a 2-year degree, and just the possibilities are endless there. So we really try to give a few really good examples there on the page if you were to scroll down on this page on our website. And then we also link to some related hands-on activities. So when we think about the biomedical engineering, then we'll link to some fun activities like make a mechanical hand, and talking about prosthetics and in that field. So there's a way to learn about the career, and then you can find an activity hands-on that you can go and do. So we really try to link all these components together so kids can really see the big picture of what engineering and STEM overall has to offer.
And something that I think is interesting from an educator perspective is the number one way that people get to the careers pages is actually links through Google Classrooms. And I know that as a teacher, when I was doing career exploration work with any of my students, pages like this would have been really great resources where I knew that safely I could send my kids to, and they would be able to find information as they were doing career exploration activities and lessons in my classroom. So that might be a hint for how you as an educator might use them.
Yeah.
So
Another poll.
I do. Yeah. I'm so curious to know from people. Ellen, first off, thank you so much for being here and sharing those programs with us. She is so fantastic. And you might see a theme for our emails, but if you need her, you can reach her at her name at discovery.org. But I've got a different way that you can reach all of us if that is more convenient, if you have questions for lots of us. So I've got a poll now, which is what resources do you actually need? This is not like a fluff my ego poll. I'm actually wondering, if we're making more things, what are the things that you actually need in your classroom or learning space or educational purview? What are some things? Do you need more hands-on activities? Do you need the video demonstrations like the ones that we showed with Miranda and Star? Is it cross-curricular programs like Future City? More engineering career information that you could send students to? Is it physical items? Do you need stickers, pencils, bookmarks, things like that? What about professional development like this, a webinar like this that would help you to maybe explore the engineering design process or the project management process and teach engineering and STEM concepts better? Or would professional development like online at your own pace, if we do have a teach section of our website, discovery.org/teach, and you can go there to find out a whole bunch of more information about how to do this. But is that something that's useful? And I'm going to keep this up for a second. And we've asked you to kind of rank how useful it is rather than just like is this something that's useful? And while I'm keeping this up just for another minute, I want to answer one of the questions that came into chat, which is, do you offer programs for students with exceptionalities? And I'm so glad to see this question because I spent most of my career as an integrated special ed teacher. And so it's really like a near and dear question to my heart. And what I can say is, first off, all of our activities, because they're really based around that engineering design process, they can be scaffolded to provide, like enrichment for your go-getter students or your students who are really obsessed with a topic, but also they can be underpinned with just the engineering design process itself to meet them where they are. I also want to give a huge shout out here to Future City because we hear from teachers who teach like life skills classes and other classes that Future City absolutely is for all students. And often, as all of you know who have ever worked with students, you might have a student who maybe struggles in traditional academic concepts, but they love to get hands-on. And they maybe potentially are looking at a future in trades or in STEM. Future City is a place where I saw, when I used it in my classroom, I saw kids who weren't like traditionally academically successful really thrive. They were learning soft skills, they were building teams, they were seen and treated respectfully by peers who maybe were a little bit more academically oriented. And so I want to give a shout out to Future City because it really is. You can use it, whether it's the program access track for high school or the resources track in the middle school program. You can get in there and really like Frankenstein it to be for the kids that you need. If you're not in like that competition prep area, you can get it. But also, I've seen kids with all kinds of exceptionalities come to Future City finals. So I know that I can tell you honestly and truthfully, Future City is for all students. Will we have, oh, Phyllis, I'm so glad that you have that experience. And Tom, yeah, so Future City middle school teams specifically, because high school is very like team size matters a lot. And I know my Future City program managers are probably like itching to get in here. Phyllis, I'm glad you have that experience. Tom, at the middle school level, yes, sometimes we do have teachers who use it as their whole class and a whole class participates, but only a few students can be like the official team members for the competition presentation. I'm going to get Ashley back here and Maddie back here in a second to do that. And while they're turning on their cameras, I'm just going to review this poll really quick. I'm so glad to see that there are definitely things that you are all looking for. That's going to help us so much. What am I going to go back to? I'm going to go back to the Future City slide. I got to go way back. I'm so sorry. Ashley, can you say about team size for middle school while I go back to your slide?
Yes. This is something I actually kicked myself for not mentioning on the slide. I realized right after. So thank you, Tom. And Tom has been a judge from Future City. So I'm so glad that you're a part of this webinar. It's good to see you on here. So if you can, Sarah, go back a couple more slides to I'll see it. I'll know it when I see it. The next one, this one right here.
This one.
Thanks. So under middle school teams, you can have one educator, one official team educator, one official team mentor. That's optional. It's not a requirement for your team, but if you have someone that is a STEM enthusiast, another educator, or a parent who wants to help mentor the team, they can register as the official mentor. And then, just like Tom said, you can have 3 students. It's the minimum requirement to have at least 3 middle school grades 6 through 8 on your team to be considered an official team. But that doesn't mean that you're limited to that size. So we've seen teams where you have 20 students, 30 students, 40 students. And then we've also seen where if you do have a big classroom and you have 40 students that want to do it, you can break them into smaller teams so that, because when you see that you have such large participation, sometimes it's hard to manage, well, who gets to make this decision? Who gets to create this part of the model? So if you wanted to break it down and create more students or more teams based on your size, you can do that. But just like Sarah had mentioned, if you are doing the full competition, there is the presentation aspect where you can only have 3 designated team members who are the presenters and can present their project and then answer judges in the Q&A or the Q&A section of it. So hopefully that helps clarify a little bit.
And then likewise on the high school side, if we can go, I think one more slide up. So teams are 1 adult coach, as I mentioned, could really be anybody, and then 3 to 5 students for competition access. So for the more competing teams, that's 3 to 5 students. And then actually for program access teams, you can have 3 or more as well. It's when you switch over to that competition access is when you'll have to break up into 3 to 5 students per team.
And can multiple teams be from the same school?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and coaches can have multiple teams as well. And for high school,
High school, sorry, Maddie, keep going.
no, I'll say it again. Yeah, so for high school, multiple teams can come from the same school or organization, and coaches can have multiple teams. And then as far as like the competition side of things, I know there's a little rule that actually can mention, but for high school, there's no limit to how many teams from the same school or organization can advance through the qualification round to the finals round and place. Actually, I know yours is a little different.
Yeah, so for middle school, it really does depend on where your region is located on how many teams they will accept to the regional competition from the same educator organization. So if that's a question that you have and you're unsure of for the region, just again, reach out to me and I can help clarify that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I gotta get back to the end of this. Thank you both. I'm sure if more questions come back, I will call you both back. But I won't make you stay on a view to hear me talk about stickers. People, I have stickers. I have so many stickers, and I would love to get stickers to you for your classroom or your informal learning space or the students that you work with. We can sell them in packs as small as 10. So if you're going to store.discovery.org and the base pack there is 50, if there's something that you want, you can reach out to me, Sarah at Discovery, and I will make a custom order for you. So as few as 10 of each. And I want to say a couple, I know these look like they're very colorful and they're very bright. The Creative Collaborative Engineer one, I wish that I had it on me, is actually like holographic. And then we also have of course, it show, we have an I Love STEM one that's holographic. We have really cool stickers. So you go and take a look. And also, if you use the coupon Stickers for Kids, you are going to get 10% off. So go and check those out. Can we get Gabriel? Can we get a digital version of what is my question of stickers? Is that what you're looking for? If you could let me know in the chat, that would be helpful. The stickers, can you get a digital version of the stickers? That's such a good question. Could you email me? Let me show you how you can get a hold of me. You can email me info@Discover.E. You can come to our website. We have a contact form. You can hit me up on Facebook or Insta at Discover.E.org. And if you would ask me that question, I would love to get that answer for you because I don't know right off the top of my head. So let me find out. Tom says, you might want to mention, this is a good time. If you have questions, now is a great time to pop them in about anything that we've talked about today. This is how you can stay in touch with us. I will be sending out the recording and the slides next week for everybody. So don't worry, those are coming in. And if you have questions, pop them in now. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. And thank you all so much for attending. We are going to do back to school kickoff in the fall. And so you will be receiving more information about that. If you are very close to your summer break, have a great summer break. Oh man, that is definitely a beautiful thing. And thank you all for being teachers and educators and working with students in whatever way you do. We are so, so grateful for all of the work that you do. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to answer some more questions. So if you want to stick around for those answers or you've got a question, stick around. Otherwise, enjoy your Wednesday. And it's STEM Day Saturday. So happy STEM Day, almost everyone. Tom, you might want to mention that there are regional competitions. So even if you want to come to national or aspire to international, because you're right, teams from all over the world come to our international finals. You have to, the competitions at regional levels are exciting. You know what? I know this for a fact, Tom, because I emceed the Georgia regional competition this year, and it was so much fun. The regional competitions are so critical for that middle school group. They are the first step before the winning team from each region gets invited to the international finals in Washington, D.C. every February. And it's always so exciting for kids to get to go and participate in those. And I saw a comment somewhere that said that winners from their region weren't necessarily coming from the big city in their region. They were coming from other places. And that's true because Future City is for all students. So it really levels that playing field, that students from anywhere get the chance. It's not just students from, places where they have access to a bunch of, maybe city infrastructure that can be really highly successful. So yeah, I think that that's such a beautiful thing. And thank you. There's so many. Ellen Hurd, thank you. And yeah, I just again want to say thank you to everybody who is saying thank you in chat. No, seriously, thank you guys. We so, so greatly appreciate you. This has been so great to share with you everything because I really do. I valued it when I was in my classroom. And so I'm really excited to get to share it with you all now. Have a wonderful week and weekend. And whenever your next break is, enjoy it the most. And we will see you back in the fall for some back to school. And happy Teacher Appreciation Week, everyone. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, everyone.